and like, woo, brand new world. Hey y'all, welcome to TNT Homesteading. This is Terry. Day 2 of getting the chickens, well, the chicken run taken care of. From the last video, left off with that wall done. It's all has hardware cloth all the way up to the top and then down about an extra foot. I still need to put hardware cloth on the other 8 sections and the door. All right, and then you can see on this, maybe, there we go, this one's in the sun. We just put in some screws and washers to hold the hardware cloth on, and then down and under. That's worked great everywhere we've ever been. So we'll see how it goes. Now, I didn't mention last time, but we do intend to put some wire on top of this. We're not planning on making it hardware cloth, but we do have some wire we're going to put on, and so that'll go on there. And then the last thing is the chicken door. Oh, there it is. The chicken door is going to go right over on one of those 2 panels. I'm not sure which panel yet. Probably, I'm not sure. I want to get the nests hung. One of those 2 panels. The walls and the door, and then inside we need to get roost set up, and I'd love to get a divider between our side of the coop and their side of the coop today, so we can go get our chickens. The top we can put on tomorrow at lunch or tomorrow after work. Since we're here all the time now, we'll have a little bit of time between end of day and darkness and work on getting the top in. We do intend to put gutters over here to catch rainwater. So we're going to do that. So I'm going to, whatever I put right against the wall there is going to be temporary, so we can easily move it, get the gutters put in place. And then we do also intend to put a little flashing, so in here in the run it is also dry during rain. So that's it at the moment. That's a lot. And I got a busy day. As I was getting around this morning, the light over our kitchen table didn't work this morning. So I've spent too much time messing with that this morning. Decided we still have lights on the other 2 lights. All the plugs have electric, so there's something either in the light itself or in the switches, but I'm not finding it yet. But I'll mess with that later. We still have light, and we still have electricity everywhere else, just that one light. So I'll mess with that later. But we want the chickens down here, which means get busy. So. All right, so some things we learned yesterday that we wanted to do differently today is I got this for Christmas. It's one of those little magnetic screw holders. And so what we've been doing, well, today we're doing it because we learned our lesson yesterday, is I'm taking my screw and my washer, putting them on there because it's really hard to do when you're wearing gloves. Drop it into the magnetic tray. We spilt this lid several times, and so this will solve that problem. But by going ahead and putting the washers on the screws, it also makes it a little bit faster once you get going, and you're not like fumbling around every single one to get that taken care of, especially if you're wearing gloves. It's also a little more difficult when you're messing with it, trying to hold it in place and get another screw and blah, 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 blah. This is the way to go. Spend a little bit of time in prep. It makes the whole thing a lot easier. right, I'm on my last section except for the door to get the hardware cloth on. And I've got some overhang. Now, I could have just taken this from here over and let the overhang be over there, not worry about it. However, because of my lousy digging skills, I have this section to take care of. And that's like perfect. So I can just trim this off, put it on that side, and not have to worry about wasting a whole piece just for that. And then we can move on to the door. All right, and there you have it. We have hardware cloth all the way around on the outside, including the door, which, you know, if things are wanting to push in, that's good. I am going to put a piece of hardware cloth over the threshold here. So again, if an animal comes up, it feels the metal and doesn't try to dig around it. Plus, they could still dig here, so I want the hardware cloth there. I'm going to put one in the corner right there. Again, just so they don't try to dig around it. They'll just, all the way around is hardware cloth. So I'm going to get that cut and put down, and then I will start working on the door to the chicken coop. Okay, I'm on my last corner piece, and I wanted to show you how I do this. So I have a piece of hardware cloth, cut at a good angle, or a good length. I want to, here, I'm going to want to cut a line down so I have something to screw this into here. And then this can lay flat. Now, because I have this 4x4, I'm actually going to come over a little bit more and cut, and then cut back. And let me show you why I'm going to do that. All right, so you can see I've cut this direction and this one as well. So what that allows me to do, which you probably all figured out, is I can bend this down, push this back so I can screw it in here, push this down and back so I can screw it in there, and it gives us a nice little overlap. And there you go. I need one more screw here at the top. Okay, do I need it? Not sure I need it. I want one more at the top. And then that's the secure run. Now all I gotta do is get the door in place once I screw this one in. Oh, and then we'll put a roof on, but that may not happen today. All right, change of plans. So I did get that last screw in place, and I was about to start working on the door, but I really want to get the nesting boxes put in first, because I would rather cut the hole for the door inside than outside and then mess up where I'm planning to put the boxes. So I'll put the boxes up. I'm going to put them on this railing here. We're gonna frame this section out. Let's see. We're going to frame this section out, and then this side of the coop we'll have, you know, chicken feed and storage for medicine and paper towels and scratch and oyster shells and the like. And so on the other side of that is where we'll put the first nest box, and then one right next to it, and then the door next to it. On the far end, we're going to put the roosts. What you think, baby?
About what?
This height. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. No, because we need to store something underneath it. Bucket or whatever. You know.
Just checking. I wanted to check before. I started putting holes in the I want it level. And there you go. Just a couple more. I got 2 more. And my wife just shut the door on me. And I don't suspect I'll have any problems with these, but if I do, I can get longer screws, go all the way through, and either bolt them or screw them into a 2x4 on the other side. And now for the next one. Timber! All right, nest boxes are done. So, I measured a nice flat spot, level spot. I took the door. It said no more than 11 inches wide, 10.5 inches wide. So I put it up here to give me a straight mark. And on both corners, I drilled through with a big drill bit. I have a battery powered Sawzall that I can do this, but I was noticing that my pocket knife is cutting through this pretty easily. It's going to make a neater cut than the Sawzall would. Now, might I still get the Sawzall out and cut this? I might. Because at the moment, I'm only doing the inside wall. I still got to go through the outside wall. I'm going to keep working on this because it's boring to watch. And be back in a minute. I have an entrance cut. I've made a little place so they're not standing on plastic. And this will connect right up like that. So I just have to center it and level it and screw it in. All right, it's there.
Sweet.
Now I just got to figure out next steps, which means read the directions. So you can see here that this panel slides down and I can get up here to the batteries. They're rechargeable. There's a fuse there, and that's the remote control. I'll have to figure out. No, I think it goes through this hole. And see, this has a 3-way switch: close, auto, and open. And then the other one plugs in. The other one plugs in there. Again, close, auto, open. All right, door is installed. It's opening. It's opening much slower and closes much slower than I expected. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. So, we have a way for the chickens to get in, we have a way for the chickens to get out, and they have a secure run. We've got a water bowl stuck over in the corner and a food bowl. And the door quit. And that should be plenty. I could make the whole opening a little larger, but I chose not to. I can always make it bigger if we need to. All right, so next up, pick up the tools and install some roosts, I think. That way we got a place to put them when we come home with the chickens later. Because they'll probably go to sleep in the old place and wake up here. And like, whoo, brand new world. We were wishing we could do that instead of having to do all the moving ourselves. We just wake up and it's all done. It didn't happen that way. All right, so for the roosts, what I'm doing is we've cleared land. I've kept cedar trees, chopped off all the limbs and just sort of kept them so I can use them for fence posts and whatnot. So here, all I've done, let's see, all I've done is put a couple screws in it. This one I've tied off. It's not a very good tie. I do have a screw underneath it. I need to get another screw for that. This side is screwed and this side is screwed. I'm going to put one more up here. I'm going to bring you along for that. Long-term plans is we're actually going to put a box underneath here to use as a brooder box. We only let Mama Chick take care of everything, so we don't need lights or anything like that. So we're going to have a little section in here because we always kept them separate, and we like that. But underneath the roost box, we'll have a raised floor, and then they can sit there. They'll poop there. I'll clean that off. But below them, underneath the board, there'll be another section. It'll have its own door to a separate outside run. But that's not today. Today is get this last roost bar up, and then I'm sure some people will complain, but I'm getting ready to clean these off as well. Battery is an issue, so I'll be in here with the chainsaw and just running across that and smoothing the top, those little sections off. But that'll work really well for them. Awesome. 3 runs and 3 roosts put in. So let me just clean up these little spurs from this cedar tree, and we'll be good there. All right, next up is some bedding. Something to soak up all the poop that they'll have while they're roosting at night. This is just some straw we had. Our long-term plans here is use wood chips and mulched leaves. Since we have 10 acres of woods, we'll have lots of mulch and leaves and wood chips. But I don't have a mulcher yet. All right, that's pretty much it. The only thing left in here is we want to put a divider right there at that truss, which is pretty much just on this side of the nest boxes. And that'll keep them on their side and our stuff on our side. But next up, I think, is we're going to try to do something about the top of the coop, or top of the run. I put in the threshold, and for those of you that don't know what a threshold is, that is what a threshold was for. It wasn't just to go into the door, it was to keep the thresh inside your house from going outside when you open the door. I've got uprights for our little divider for the short term. My beautiful bride has decided that we can just put up some of our bird netting and it'll keep them on their side of the run. So we're working on that now. We're done for the night. Let me show you real quick everything we got done. You can see here, there we go. No, you can't really see here, but there is a netting. There, now you can see it. So there's just a bird netting to separate the run and the roosts, or the chicken coop piece, with keep it separate from our side, which is what exactly we want. We do have, I haven't got it mounted yet, but for the electric door opener, it's got a manual switch that will mount inside. Then out here, we've got our hardware cloth. We've got 5-foot ceiling. We put some support beams across the top. We were going to use some old wiring just to help keep things out of the top, but it looked janky and there were lots of holes in it where it's been broken or busted or something. It was here. So we decided to go ahead and go with hardware cloth, which we've got since we've got it, but we're out of time. But my wife said, why don't you go ahead and make the supports, and then she'll put the hardware cloth on it tomorrow while I'm working. I can always come out and help for a short period if needed, or at lunchtime or after work. We may put supports in the middle, going between the 2x4s going across the top. But at the moment, that's what we've got. We're pretty happy. We're pretty happy about this. I think it looks pretty good. It's pretty secure, at least for what we're used to messing with. And we'll see how it goes. We're getting ready to head out here in a minute once we pick up all the tools and stuff and get it off the bed of the pickup truck and get out of here and go get our chickens. They'll be all roosted up for us, so that'll actually make getting them picked up even easier. I'm hearing beeping. Oh, I know what it is. It's the car closing. Anyway, that is all I've got for today. We got a little bit more work to do. We need to put the stuff on the top, which I don't know if you'll see a video of that or not. And we do need to do a better job separating our side from their side so it's easier to go in and out, because we do want to have like a little gate in there. We'll probably use something a little bit heavier than that bird netting. We've got some green netting that we've had. Oh, there it is right there. We had some green netting that we've used before for the garden. That'll work great in there. It's easy to cut. You can see it. It's lightweight. So that's our plan for that wall. We'll make a little door and put some hinges on it to make it so we can come in and out and get eggs and the like. Anyway, all, hope you enjoyed the video today. Tomorrow, our chickens will wake up. We'll also be testing that door. It should be closing here in a little bit. As the sun continues to set, that should close. So when we come in with the chickens, that door should be closed, and we'll double check it. Well, I hope maybe you learned something, or at least saw what I did, and can either decide you want to give it a try, or you think I'm crazy and you found something you don't ever want to try in your life. But it was fun, and we love our chickens, and we love our eggs, and looking forward to having them here. Looking forward to not having to go back time and time and time again. So I guess I will let y'all go, and like, subscribe, ring the bell, and see you on the next video.